Think the
Oh, here we go.
yeah.
Right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Whenever you're watching this, welcome back to the Natural Physique Podcast. Just got myself and Matt here. We put out a little story box to say, whack your physiques in. We're going to do a rate your physiques type of thing. Not quite the normal, like, rate your physiques. Oh, there's a fucking 7 out of 10 or whatever it may be. Defend and just offend everyone. Um, not
Mhm.
do that, not do that. But we're going to cover posing side of things. Obviously, we've got the master here, Matt. And then
Mhm.
we're going to cover just like physique side of things as well. Anything that we think might be helpful, pointing out, bringing up some certain areas, pointing out some weak points, just so people can get a good idea on physique analysis as well, because it's something that's obviously really important if you're looking to become a better online coach and be able to actually, work with higher level athletes and to be able to assess those physiques as well. So, yeah, I think let's get cracking on into it. We've got
Yep.
a lot of people, like a lot of people get a really good response actually. We 100% cannot get through everyone on this one because I think we've got some like 200 photos
Mhm.
now, which is pretty mental, but it does mean that we've got a few episodes of this banked up. We'll do them with Finn and with Noah as well, and we can all do them. We can all laugh at you and make fun of you. Instead of just the two of us, it'll be the four of us. But let's get cracking on into it. So we've got a few people here. We're going to start off with Mikey. This has been quite difficult to figure out how to actually get it on here because WhatsApp doesn't allow us to load things. But Mikey, Matt, do you have anything to say on him, his posing, etc., his physique? Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah. So I've worked with Mikey. I think I've only worked with him once or twice in a couple of sessions. But he's coached by Finn. He looks absolutely unbelievable at the minute. I think he's targeting is it those earlier shows? I think it was in the message there. Um
That's it.
Up at the start. What one was it?
Yep.
Um WNBF, juniors bodybuilding, and PCA naturals too. So yeah. So Mikey competed 2 years ago.
Competed against me
WNBF
actually.
juniors.
He
What was that?
competed with me in the WNBF first timer show.
So that's the
Was
same show.
bricking it, mate. Yeah, because I thought it was a teen because he does look relatively young, and especially back.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh my God, he's a teen, and obviously like he's well muscled, and I seen his legs. I was like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
I was like,
Mhm.
please don't be in my class. Please don't be in my class.
Uh,
Yeah, Mikey was what 2 years ago, and now he's competing again after like a longer off season. He was supposed to compete last year, but
yeah, he was supposed to go last year, wasn't he?
yeah, they kind of agreed that it'd be better to build more muscle and just get into a better position. And he looks sick. I think he looks really, really good.
I think the main thing that stands out with Mikey is obviously his legs, like his quads
It's
specifically, are just
in the
absolutely
back, mate. Look at that.
fucking mental.
Yeah, that
Um,
looks photoshopped.
yeah, it does. Like the front double as well. Like look at that left one especially. Like that does not
Yeah,
look good. Um,
it is,
so
isn't
like obviously it's pretty good having quads like that, but the main issue is like making sure it doesn't take away from the rest of your physique. So that's I think the big thing for Mikey.
it? Yeah.
Because like don't get me wrong, like he's still got really good arms, but when your like legs are so overpowering, it
Yes,
just makes the other areas look a little bit smaller. So you need to be very careful of it.
I agree.
But yeah, like in terms of the physique, obviously legs, quads, massive sort of standout as a strength. Um,
Bring
Arms are pretty good as
glutes, I
well.
would say. Like glutes to kind of match that fucking crazy side leg.
Exactly. It's all
From
about bringing up
behind.
areas to match the quads, I
Yeah.
think. And he is pretty limb dominant, so I think he does need quite a bit more through the chest and the back. But being so young, like
This
it's
year,
normal
isn't
for
it? Like,
people.
if you were to, I wish I had my wee loom thing, like on when I record my loom videos, I can go into the drawing part and I
Draw,
can do
yeah.
that. I'm not going to try mess about with it in Zoom because I'll
Nah,
definitely can stop the
something will go
recording.
wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
something will go
So
wrong.
I usually can like draw a line down here. You want your lats to be as wide as the sweep of your legs, and that's something that you speak about a good amount, isn't it? Like say on
Yeah,
like
so that's how
the
you
lat.
sort of enhance that X frame by getting the width of the lats to line up with the width of the quads.
It's just
Um,
difficult when your quads are very, very sweepy. Like
yeah,
that does look
yeah.
sick to be fair. You can see it do come out more there, but your quads are very good, so it can be difficult to do that. That's just going to take time, realistically. Like to bring up um, uh, or not even to bring up, like to match everything to a really, really strong body part. It's the same with me. Like my lats come out quite nicely, my quads are shit, so I need to
Mhm.
spend a lot of time bringing my quads up. It's just the way that it is, but it's definitely not a bad thing to be like fucking hell. There's a body part that's really, really good that it might be a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
proud.
exactly.
I think it still looks sick. So yeah, Mikey's got a great physique. I think he will do very well this year. Realistically, I know he's putting in a lot of effort. I heard Finn speaking to him at the weekend there, just feeling a little bit fatigued and tired and everything. So having a wee deload just now, as he was mentioning there. So yeah, I think he's going to do really good. There's nothing drastic posing wise that I would say, to be honest. Anything from your end?
So He's not really doing it here. Did he put a side chest in? Yeah, he did. So one of the things that kind of Mikey was going wrong in the side chest was he was pulling that arm quite far back and rotating around. So
This one here.
he's obviously got an absolutely massive arm and it looks really good. But the way he was hitting it, he was trying to rotate to get a bit more width,
Yep.
and he was just bringing that arm too far back. And the further you bring the arm back round, it's almost like that point of diminishing return. You want to keep that arm as side on as possible so it looks the biggest, possible. So that was the main sort of standout thing within his kind of posing. Everything else was like pretty spot on. Um, I think like the front poses, he was pretty good. The front double, I think he can maybe just scoop his elbows forward a little bit more. Where is it?
Does he not have one? We
That's
did
it.
have one. We did see it.
Yeah,
Either
you can maybe just scoop those elbows forward a little bit more, especially on that right side. It looks like he's not opening up as well,
you can see that
and
left
that'll
side open up a little bit more than the right.
yeah, it'll just get a little bit more lat width coming through to try and match the quads. But everything else is pretty good. Like he's definitely posing his lower body a lot better now.
Yep.
The glutes and the hamstrings and trying to get a bit more quad sweep from the back. So,
Yeah, I think it's spot
he's
on.
doing the best that he can. Yeah.
When you turn round too much as well, like you always will find like a little gap in here, and then when you can start to see those gaps, like the physical gaps, and you can see
Yeah.
what's behind them if you rotate too much, or you, more so if you have that elbow too far back, creating gaps in the physique, it means you end up just it just doesn't look quite as satisfying. You know, you want to have that full like complete look as much as you can. So yeah, I think that covers Mikey well. All good.
Yep. Perfect.
Spot on. Next we have OG Owen Garrington.
The
It said,
OG.
can't wait for you to slag me on the pod, something like that. What was it? Yeah, go on then. I'll let you and John say menu on the pod. Brilliant. Just talk about how short he is. That's it. That's no one. But no, I think one looks really good. I think this shot looks so satisfying on him. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
the flow of this looks really nice. Like nice little slutty waist, legs look solid here, and then just the sweep of the lats coming out here,
Mhm.
really nice. So I think Owen looks good. Do you know? Have you posed with him in person or anything at all, or do you know much
Not
about?
in person. Well, actually, hold on. I did at the meetup, wasn't it? I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I did a bit with him at the meetup, and then we've had two online sessions so far. And like he's one of them people. He poses like pretty well, so it is just a matter of making like little small tweaks
Oh, it
to
does.
bring out his strong points a wee bit more, and try and hide the weaknesses. But yeah, like that front lat spread, he can
I
maybe
was,
just open up a little bit more.
yep. I was
Just
gonna
kind
say
of
like
think
chest
about
up further.
chest up, project the shoulders and the elbows sort of towards the camera a bit more.
They
Um,
look as if they're rolled a little forwards
yeah,
and closing
slightly
in.
roll forward so he could be getting a bit more width there.
Yep.
Um, side chest is really nice.
Side leg looks
Side
great.
leg, yeah, side leg looks really nice in that.
Really
Same
good.
with the rear poses. I think the rear poses are pretty spot on.
Yep.
Um,
Do you think hips tucked through a little bit too much, or
uh,
I seen Daniel Coffin speak about that, because he does seem quite lean back, and therefore like you end up bringing the hips maybe too far forwards. But it
it's a
depends. I've not
difficult
seen
one.
him.
It's one of them. It's like you obviously want to show the detail as much as you can, but you don't want to sacrifice size for detail.
Yeah,
So I would always suggest just kind of keeping your hips neutral and
yeah.
then slightly tucking if you need to, because slightly tucking underneath, you'll be able to contract the glutes and hamstrings a lot better.
Yeah,
So
it's like on a hip thrust, you don't want to launch your full body through. It's just that little roll
exactly,
of the
yeah,
hips, like that's
it's
what you're
just like
trying
a
to do
slight
while
little
still
tuck.
keeping. Yeah, yeah, it's that sort of slight roll forward. Always, there's a video of Keon doing it when he competed at last Olympia when he hits his rear shots, and you can like see the moment that he switches that on, and you can
Mm,
see it, and that's how I kind of try to show people that because you can like visually just watch the glutes contract, and you can see that it's just
mm,
that tilt in the hips. It's not the
mm.
like full launch them forwards, and you need to push them like way out in front of you.
Yeah.
It's just that slight
Mm.
tilt. I don't
Uh,
think it's drastic with Owen here, but it's just something that a point to discuss, obviously.
mhm.
Yeah, I think he looks really good. The his physique right now, again from the side, I think looks sick. Like I actually do think it looks really, really satisfying. Quads, they're well developed. It's just needs you can't really change it, can you, from a genetic
It's just the
standpoint?
insertion, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like they don't. It's not as full from round the knee, but again, they still do look nice and bubbly and round and full, which is sick. But over time, they'll just continue to get even more bubbly, round and full. Kind of reminds me of Matt McCulloch. Is that his name?
Oh, yeah, IFBB Pro.
Yes,
Yeah.
so he's quite short as well, but he's just got
Mm.
so much round bubbly
He's not
muscle.
actually that short.
Is he
He's
not?
taller than me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's about 5'11".
Can I see if I can get him up on here?
Yeah,
There's
you'd be able to get him up.
I
It's
don't
because of
know.
his proportions. He's got like really short legs and really long torso.
Matt McCulloch, yes. So this is
He's 5'11", I
yeah,
swear.
that's very similar to that. That pretty much just his own same pair.
Yeah, exact same bloke.
Natty blokes. But yeah, like it's similar to this where like there's so much of like the sweep up top and round here, like
Mm.
up towards the hip, and then not as much around the knee. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a little bit different. I think again when you get so much size on your quads and develop them over time, that will look ridiculous.
Yeah.
That will look really really cool. But I think Owen looks great. Posing wise, kind of covered some stuff there. Front relax, he's definitely opened up a little bit better, keeping the chest prouder. Compared to the front lat, you can see the difference in his lats and his shape through that. But yeah, shows wise, I assume the early air shows.
I think so. I can't really
Yeah,
remember. Yeah, I'm
he's
trying to
good.
remember what he said.
Getting into condition solid. So yeah, I think that covers Owen. Sound.
Yeah,
Anything
perfect.
else? All good.
No, he's looking well, very well.
Spot on. So. Next one, Jensen, 24, 6'5", same height as me. Anywhere from 90 to 95 kg in these pics. 10 months training, 7 months in a diet phase. Started as a heavier boy. So yeah, would like to compete next season. If the look is right, can't take any decent pictures or post to save my life. So yeah, this is him here, 6'5", obviously a taller individual.
Fucking unit.
Yeah, no, mate, he's
Look,
fucking
I mean, he
such a big
looks about
unit.
7 foot.
Jesus Christ. Just go take up basketball, mate, and do that instead. Uh, but yeah, mate, he's a tall individual. That's always going to come with a little bit more difficulty of filling out the limbs. Like it's just how it
I
is.
was going to say the legs would obviously like stand out as somewhere that
Yeah,
would
I
need
would agree.
adjusting.
And again, that's just realistically going to take time. So see where you're at for next year. If your legs have the level of muscularity they need to get into to condition, go for it. If not, spend a little bit more time gaining. Like I have a lot of clients that are taller and they'll maybe be like, oh well, I wanna do this, or wanna compete a little bit earlier. But they're maybe comparing their timeline to me and I'm 5'8". I'm gonna fill out a good chunk, quicker. But there's also the fucking fact that I'm 5'8". That's a massive L. You fill out quicker from a bodybuilding standpoint, but I'm still 5'8". But yeah, like just a little bit more time to fill out. That looks sick.
Like the thing is,
That
he's
looks
got a
great.
pretty good frame. Like he's got a
Yeah, yeah.
wide shoulders. It
I
is
agree.
literally just about filling out the legs a little bit more.
Yes.
Like look at the fucking width of him there, and that.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like if he can spend time, like he'll be menacing as fuck.
Yeah,
Be really good. So yeah, like it depends where you're at. I'm not saying don't compete next year, but you'd probably be good spending more time just getting wider because obviously you're really tall, and if you can get even like fuller, bigger, and better through all these shots, bringing up your legs more, so bringing up the chest a little bit as well, just so there's get a bit more pop here. I think you look good, but his back looks sick there. I think that looks really good. Christmas
really
tree.
nice. Good
You put
detail.
it in your story. Everyone loves a wee Christmas tree story, don't they?
Yeah.
Even when it's not Christmas time. Look, guys, look. But yeah, I think looks solid. It's just legs realistically being the main body part to bring up. Arms a little bit as well, but again, that's just always going to be the case when you are taller. From a posing standpoint, anything to kind of point out here, I would say just lower body, driving the knees out a little bit, and kind of try to
Yeah,
keep that X frame instead of just being slim here and then wide up
almost
here.
looking like a bit of a Y, a
Yes,
capital Y, where everything's just like up here, big wide lats, and then narrow
I
legs.
sometimes use a capital T as an example as well because that's just
Capital
thin,
T.
thin T. Yeah, whatever
Good
one.
one. Yeah. So from a posing standpoint, like most muscular, I think this is pretty good. I'd just be careful not to push too hard with your hands because obviously when you push too hard, you're just going to contract a lot of muscles that probably would be better if they stayed relaxed, like the chest. So if you contract a muscle, it obviously shortens. So you need to be quite selective with what you contract. So I would probably stay a little bit taller, try flare those lats a bit more, and just
Yep.
put a little bit of pressure through the hands. And then in terms of the lower body, I think your stance is actually pretty good. I would just turn those knees out, bend the knees a bit more. You kind
Yeah.
of want the same amount of knee
What, three
bend.
o'clock, 3 o'clock and
No,
9 o'clock?
2 o'clock. Well, 11 and
Two
1 or 10
o'clock.
and 2. It just kind of depends on the person.
Yep.
But I would always say have the same amount of knee bend as if you're like about to bounce on a trampoline. You know that like kind of like
Yeah.
real soft amount of knee bend. That's what you kind of want, and you want to think about driving those knees out, which will help show the quad sweep. But yeah, like upper body looks fucking sick in this. Even delts and arms, like arms being longer take longer to fill out, but I think you're actually doing a really good job of it so far. So it is really just about bringing the lower body up to match.
Spot on. Perfect. Again, that looks really good. Again, like if he can do that, like maintain that level of muscularity while being really, really lean, and obviously just continue to grow. Then, like when people are tall on stage and you're up against other people, even if you
They
aren't a
just
top
have
class,
such
maybe
a good
like they're maybe
stage
like 5 foot
presence.
11. Yeah, there's just something about it. So
Yeah,
yeah, sick.
perfect.
Next one. Maka Morris. Maka's really good. Obviously, I say obviously, last time he competed was a long time ago, and he's made a lot of improvements.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He said, turned 28 this Monday, competed 3 times, 2 times first places, and overall. Okay, big boy. Plans to attempt, or just throw that in there. Plans to attempt my first ever pro qualifier run this year with the IFBB, seeing how competitive I can go for a pro card. Yeah, he's improved a lot, a lot,
Mhm.
a lot. If we're looking at overall shape, he's ridiculous.
That's just
Like,
like what I love for men's physique. Like that's what I consider men's physique. You got like stupidly bubbly lats or bubbly chest, wide
yes,
cap
mate.
belts, big
Yeah.
lats, tiny little waist, and
I
he
think
doesn't.
he'll
Sorry,
be
go on.
significantly better than last
Yeah.
time. Like last
Uh-huh.
time he looked good, but that's a complete different physique. Like if he can maintain roughly that bubbliness, I know he's obviously not like fully in stage condition yet. That bubbliness while getting down into stage condition, I think that
Oh,
would be sick.
like that's a pro level physique at the
Yeah,
end of the day.
I
That
think
should
he is
be
really good. The
pro.
only thing that I think here is like midsection wise, I don't know what
Yeah.
that's gonna look like. Like obviously it's so important within men's physique. I don't know if he's kind of slightly sucking up
It
right now.
looks like a little bit of a vacuum,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
just like ever so slightly. So I don't. This is the problem with me with men's physique. Like, see if I vacuum slightly in a men's physique shot, boom,
Mhm.
perfect. But
Yeah.
see, as soon as I crunch the abs, I just become a
Yeah.
fridge. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck,
I'm exactly the same.
so
Everything
bad.
just goes to my hips and it's like I
Yeah.
lose all my lats.
Yeah, so Maka, like we obviously know he's still going to have a detailed midsection with, no fridge like front side shots like we do because he's competed before and he's obviously done extremely well. But yeah, I think he'll do really well. It's just a case of, keeping that roundness and bubbliness and obviously he's got a little bit of assistance. Shouldn't even be covering him on this, mate. The Natural
Yeah,
Physique Podcast.
we're all inclusive. We're like a fucking
Getting a bit.
Benidorm hotel, mate. We're all inclusive.
Please, please never let me go there. Anyway, mate, it's fucking Britain with a bit of sun in it. And you're fat, brown 60-year-olds that have just baked in the sun for like
Yeah, I'd
70
love to
years.
go to Benidorm. I reckon we should do a NPC coaches away
Yes.
day to Benidorm.
Patch going to WNBF World or something, just go to
Yeah,
Benidorm.
we talked about what is it, the Galaxy or something in Malaysia.
Yeah, the Malaysia
Sack that
one.
off, go to Benidorm for a week.
Benidorm Classic. Open our own bodybuilding show there. Natural Physique Classic.
Oh, that's a shout.
Shout. No one's done it yet.
We'll bring that up with Finn.
Just loads of fat 50-year-olds. Who's got the biggest beer belly? Right, next one. Thank you, Maka, for sending your
Yeah, fantastic physique, Maka. Really
yes,
good.
very, very good. Next one, Zach lifts 17-year-olds, 3 years training, 14-ish weeks out. Natty. Sick. Back to natties. There we go. Have you spoke to Zach before?
A couple of times. He seems
Yep.
like a really nice guy. Uh-huh.
From your ends or
What do you
from
mean?
mainland UK?
I don't know where he is. I think he's in the UK. No, he's just messaged me a couple of times on
Yep.
Instagram. But yeah, he comes across really nicely and seems to have a pretty mature head on him for being 17, which is
Yeah,
obviously a big
it's
positive.
always good. Always
Yeah.
good to see. I think side shots look pretty cool. Whereas the again kind of similar to Owen, just that small waist and then the sweeping lat looks really nice there. Main area to bring up was obviously just lower body again. Like if we look
Yeah.
at shots here and then from the side as well, you can just see here like with the quad sweep, one to just get obviously a good chunk bubbler there, so it makes that match again, just like how wide you are up top, wanting that same kind of width down in the lower body. But again, that looks really good. I think that side tricep looks really nice across the top line here. Just a case of bringing up the lower body to match things a little bit, arms as well.
I was going to say
Or
arms in the front lap really stand out that
yeah,
they need to be brought up, but they actually look quite good in the side tricep. Um,
that's what I thought.
yeah,
I think
but
you could lift his chest up a little bit more and get wider there for the front lap, similar to what Owen was doing.
yeah, I would definitely bring the feet in as well.
Yeah.
Narrow that stance a little bit more, feet underneath, probably just
So
outside hip
adductor
width apart.
or
Try and
leg
get rid
adductor
of that,
gap.
yeah, try and get rid of that adductor gap in the middle, and a little bit more knee bend as well. And then just think about lifting the chest up nice and high
Yep. I think
to
it's
do that.
difficult sometimes. Like with myself, I know this because I like my legs were one of my weaker body parts when I competed. Trying to find the right stance through my lower body was always a little bit difficult, just
Mhm.
because I didn't want it to be an adductor gap, but also didn't want to have my feet super close because then my legs wouldn't really sweep out because I didn't have
Yeah.
much quad sweep. So let's just try to find that middle ground. So continue to play around with that. Obviously, he's trying to create the X frame here, so getting himself nice and wide across the lower body. But again, it does come to a point where like, you end up creating too much of a gap in the middle, and that takes away from the size and the look of the lower body. Again,
Mhm.
mate, like shape wise, his legs look a lot better from the back actually
Oh
here.
yeah, 100%,
Look
100%.
really good actually. Glutes, hamstrings, and even the quads look a little bit fuller from the outside there. So I think he's nailing that pretty much.
Yeah.
Shape wise, really solid. Like, even these shots here, just that real lat spread, you can see
Just
like,
need more thickness as
yeah,
well.
that's what I was gonna say. Like he's got good potential,
Hmm.
but he's young, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Competing at 17-year-olds, you'll learn a lot about yourself. So just make sure that you are doing what you want to do on a daily basis, like doing what you set out to do, more so, sorry, and that you learn a lot about how you manage things and become a lot more productive and use that for the gaining phase that follows on top of that. But yeah, 14 weeks. I'm trying to think what show that will be.
What's
The
that,
first,
like just under 4 months?
yeah, the first. I know the Kettering PCA show is 16 weeks time, I think. No, it's 15. It might be that one. It might be the
Could be.
PC Naturals. No, yes, it's 14 and a half weeks out that now. Sorry, I'm behind on time. So it could be that one. But yeah, a few wee posing tips here and there. Anything else? Again, that's what I was talking about. See this gap.
There's the
If,
side chest thing we talked about with Mikey. Uh-huh.
if you pull that elbow too far back, you end up having a gap in there. Like if there was no gap here, I can guarantee this shot, you'd be like, fucking hell. Like everything just looks much fuller and more complete. So trying to not pull that elbow quite as far back so you can close the gap up in the middle there. But apart from that, sounds anything
I
else?
would say if you go back to that side chest as well. Um, yeah, just as Josh said, don't pull that elbow as far back. Try and keep that arm nice and side on if you can. And instead of thinking about rotating to try and create the width, flare that far left lat and almost think about bringing the shoulder out in front and the elbow away, and
Yep.
then jam the left bicep up into the left pec to kind of close that gap. So think about laying your arm underneath your rib cage, and that will help sort of create a bit more width in the side chest. Like I think Arnold said it well. Like him and fucking Franco were posing back in the day, and he was like, "Franco, side chest, not front chest."
Yeah, yeah.
That's yeah, it's a side chest. Like make sure you stay side on, and think about creating the width through the far side rather than rotating excessively. And also just one little thing with the lower body, I would bring that right foot into the middle of your left foot.
Yep.
Make
Kind of
sure that
mash it
heel,
in like the
yeah,
the part that comes out on
like
that
an
right foot,
instep.
like into the crevice of the other foot and really
Yeah.
put that in and then kind of drag along it. So like
Mhm.
starting that in there and then this knee kind of like push that into the other one and then slightly forwards to really just the same as I'm gonna show here, always show this in my check-in. It's the same with your arm. Like if I do this compared to this, look at the
Yeah.
side difference. Like your side leg, if you've not got it pressed up right against it, you may be doing this right now, whereas you can get it right up against and really mash that against. You need to get these feet into each other, push them together, and then it goes from looking like that to that, like that being obviously the hamstring when you're doing it with your legs.
Yeah.
So it always makes it look a lot better when they're really, really pushed up against each other.
Mhm. So almost
Yeah.
think about redirecting that knee, that right knee across the left, and
Yes.
that will show a little bit more glute and hamstring. And then if you can raise that right heel off the ground even more, that basically just pushes the knee further forward and creates a bigger space for the hamstring to drop into. So therefore you get a bigger hamstring drop. So just make sure you're keeping that hamstring nice and relaxed and thinking about the only thing you really need to contract in the lower body is just the right glute. That's all you need to contract in
Yeah,
the
don't think about the
chest, side
hamstring at all
tricep.
because it sucks it straight up.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Spot on. Right, next one. Thank you for sending the photos in. I do
Yeah.
appreciate everyone doing it.
Appreciate it.
Liam, have you spoke to Liam before? You know Liam at
No,
all?
I haven't. He messaged me and sent me the photos here.
Sick. So age 29, past it. Doesn't look past it. It looks really good off it. But training history, probably bodybuilding since September 2023, but been in and out since the been in and out of the gym since like 17. Competitive plans, novice season this year. First show BMBF Midlands, 10th August, and see how we got on from there. Sick. Yeah, baseline evaluation, good amount of muscle. Looks
Hmm.
odd. Obviously spent a long time in the gym from 17 years old. Did he say weight? I wouldn't be surprised if he weighs a good chunk because he just looks like he's got a good amount of muscle.
I wonder if he messaged me his weight.
Lats sweep out nicely here.
Let's
Legs are
see.
nice and round and full. It looks
Oh, hold on, he did. Liam lifts. He's 5'11", 174 or 177 pounds.
Oh, not too much then.
So he's not actually. I'm
He
not
just
going to say you're not
just
massive,
looks,
mate, but
yeah, he looks big, doesn't he? Like he looks,
yeah, you look fucking huge.
yeah, sick. But that's the
He
thing
would
with
compete at
bodybuilding
like.
as well. It's it's unbelievable. We'll get to that one next. So, um, but yeah, like it shows in natural bodybuilding, like body weight isn't the be all end all as well. Like he does look large and doesn't weigh like a ridiculous amount. And when he's obviously in stage condition, he's going to be significantly lighter than that too. So yeah, it's not the be all end all. A lot of people like worry too much about that. I remember when I competed against Elliot, when I beat him in overall, he was 97 kg and I was 64 kg.
That's fucking wild.
A 33 kg difference. And obviously, he did look a good chunk bigger than me, but like weight isn't the be all end all, and different weights can look significantly different. Even Oscar, the guy, the professor, if you go
Mm-hmm.
and search him up on Instagram, like to people that are watching, he's called the professor, but that has a three. He's pretty light, like he's nothing drastic, and he's got so much muscle, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, body weight, not the be all end all, but in terms of physique analysis, posing wise, is there anything that stands out to you here as we go through
Um,
this?
in terms of well, posing wise, side relaxed, it's mainly just that like sort of back arm, that left arm there, and it's the same on the other side. With that front arm, if you have it sort of just stabbing across your body,
Yep.
you don't really show enough shape, and you can definitely show, a lot more of the tricep, a lot more of the delt. So I would think about bringing that elbow away from the body and rotating the arm back in. So if you can see me on the screen,
Yep.
rather than having it like this, think about rotating it like this, okay, and pointing that hand onto the ground. So then you're just going to show the actual tricep and the shape to it, and you can make yourself look wider and look bigger. Um, but like I think he's got a really, really good physique. Like
Yep.
the back shots, he was really wide. His lats look great.
I think it
From
can
that, I
do
would
a
drop
little bit
those
more
hands
here.
down.
Yeah, yeah, and then be able to actually lift up a little bit like so
Yeah.
on.
So what happens when those hands are too high? You'll notice like his delts contract
Yes.
because he's
They're
on
not
lifting up
around.
this way. So
Yeah.
you need to try and keep those delts relaxed. So I would drop your hands a little bit lower, but you open up really well. You've got it like
It's
very
coming
sort of
through.
full, glute
Yep.
lines coming through.
This is what I'm
Very
talking about when there's no gaps there. Like it just looks large.
yeah.
It's a little bit more dealt, I would say, just to make that rounder, fuller, bigger, better. Rear shots again, as you say, solid. It's still got a good amount to come off just from like the rear.
Yeah.
Again, as
Mhm.
a first time competitor, like it can be difficult, like wanting to chase, peeled glutes. Again, to peel glutes and this and that. But again, midsection's coming through nicely. Legs, you can start to see more separation there. Even on that rear double, a lot of details for the back. I think that'll be a good shot for him.
Yeah, when he's peeled.
It's quite common for like people to hold less body fat in their backs, but it's always cool to see like when someone hits a rear shot and it's just fucking peeled. It's just
Mhm.
difficult sometimes again to get the lower body in with that as well, but that'll come with time. This looks nice again, just like arm looks large, upper body just looks fucking big in general. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think it looks mint. Posing anything else massive that stands out to you that you want to
Not
cover?
really. I think the only thing would just be those rear shots and learning to engage your glutes and your hamstrings, which is always a problem area for first time competitors. It's not really something you would practice when you're posing, when you're starting off. So I would just think about making sure that your your body weight is sort of 50-50. You're not putting too much pressure on one foot. Then sort of imagine that you're like dragging your heels back towards each other. That can really help sort of engage those hamstrings.
Yeah, I imagine there's like a wee point floating. Like if I imagine this cursor's like a little bit further behind, there's a wee
Yeah,
point floating, maybe like 10 inches off the ground, like slap bang in the middle of my feet, and try to contract up towards that.
it's like a mini leg curl.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like a
Oh,
wee point in the middle that I'm trying to bring both of my heels back to. So the heels are both kind of pointing in the way at that same point, and I'm
yeah,
contracting back up to. But obviously they don't move. But it's
yeah.
doing that inside your head to like suck up and contract those hamstrings as much as you can. I think that right foot a little bit wider just to again bring this knee in line with the lat here because this one
Mhm.
kind of lines up nicely with that one, but this one that's quite like hidden in the way.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
bringing that right foot out just a little bit, or just driving the knee outwards ever so slightly.
I think I would actually bring the right foot out probably
I
about
think,
an
yeah,
inch or
it gives
so.
you a
Yeah,
wider, more stable base to actually
yeah,
think about contracting from. When you're a little bit like off balance and you can't properly do that, then it's really difficult to switch everything on there. But it also is just like it's difficult trying to switch like the glutes and hamstrings on. Obviously, you can help it by positioning and cueing and so on and so forth. But it's one of those things that kind of takes time as well. It's like trying to explain to someone how to do a lat spread. It's so difficult.
Yeah,
Someone has never done it before. Like there's an internal feel that just kind of clicks one time, and you're like, that's what.
exactly. What I would suggest to people is like when you train legs and you do like a set of leg curls or hamstring curls, pose for like 20, 30 seconds directly after your set because you'll have blood in the muscle. So
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to develop that connection. So just pose and try and think about those sort of like tips and cues that we just gave. Try them out as soon as you've done a set, and more often than not, you'll start to be able to develop that
If you
internal
were to
connection
do
to it.
a hamstring curl just with the first pin on it, but try and control
Yeah.
the concentric. Like don't throw it down away, try keep it controlled and squeeze the hamstring. Think about how that would
Mhm.
feel to do that and sort of just try to cue and connect as much as you can for when you're posing. But again, it can be difficult. But Liam looks sick. I think
Really good.
we'll do well if he can get into condition for his shows. I think for August time will be solid, but if you're doing shows after that, you'll continue to get better, continue to get leaner. Just as you know, for second, third shows, I always recommend people to do like more than one show in their first season because you're gonna be nervous and anxious about the first show, no matter how much you are confident in how you look, or if you don't really get too much nerves or anxiety. You stood in front of like 300 people in a little pair of thongs and you've never done it. You don't really know what's happening. So there's always a little bit of something there. You're kind of uneasy, but once you do
Oh,
the first one, you kind of all your nerves are settled. You know kind of what to expect, and you know like posing improvements to make as well from the judges, like the feedback, so on and so forth. So I think multiple shows as well is always good for a first timer. Just some advice that I usually give, but yeah, I think he'll do well. Sick,
yep, agreed. Agreed.
all good. DC Jimmers.
You're right.
The next one, how we analysing this? This is him, Pete Bulk. So you've not really spoke to them before, but that's what
No, no.
I think he got coached by Jacob recently, who looked really good. Dylan does some fucking mental shit. Like he pushes up body weight so ridiculously high, as you can see. I don't know if it was intentional beforehand, but he's been heavy. He's so strong as well. Like seen him squat 200 kg. He's dumbbell pressing 50s as if they're literally nothing, as if it's just like I'm
No.
warm up on like 15 20s. But when he dieted down, he did look really really good. We'll see if we can get it on his. We'll actually go on and analyze his physique. DC Jimmers. So he's traveling about like Thailand and everything just now. How do we
Ams.
spell it?
Yeah,
Here we go.
there we go.
D Jimmers.
Right, he's in Vietnam at the minute.
Yes,
So
he's done loads of different stuff recently. I know that he yeah,
fucking hell, look at the
that was
size
the
of his
thing that I
arms.
was wetting myself at. This was
Mate, I need to follow this guy.
Beyond the Stage TV done like a who was the best competitor of the year or something like that, best assisted competitor of the year, and everyone was like everyone in Apollo Gym in Coventry was like DC Gymmers because he got them all to vote for him. It became like a actual thing, and everyone was voting for him, and he actually get like taken into consideration for it, and they were trying to figure out who the fuck DC Gymmers is. It was like that's incredible, but yeah, he does look really good again, like a physique. If you look here,
Yeah.
he's a big, strong motherfucker. Like he's large. There's
Mhm.
a transformation side by side. Yeah, there it is.
Fuck.
Chris, mental mate.
Yeah,
33
that's
kg
sick.
down. That's crazy work in 24 weeks as well. That's an absolute shit
32
put
kg.
in. So yeah, I think Dylan has done very, very well in that sense. Obviously, a lot of body weight to pull off at the one time. Like, if he can set himself up in a good position, like when going into that diet instead of starting, say, at this spot here, I think he'd look really good if he got even leaner. Waist, like, obviously, proportions wise, maybe not perfect here, but I think, again, that's just due to posing. Like, if you look at that, he's kind of got his midsection fully contracted and not really pushing
Mm.
anything in there. But yeah, he's got a lot of muscle, a lot of strength. Legs there again from a posing standpoint
Yeah.
definitely can improve that. It just makes them look smaller. And again, it's the exact same thing that was shown before, like that versus when you push it up against how much different that looks. Because I know that his legs are strong and he can deadlift, 220 kg plus. So yeah, DC Gymmers for what do you call it? Beyond the stage
Be on
TV,
the
by
stage.
26 best competitor.
Do you
I,
know why he like pushed body weight up so much? Does he just
I
like
think he
being
just ate what the fuck he wanted and just
big?
didn't really care.
Fair
Dirty.
fucking play, mate. Fair play.
Yeah. And now he's traveling Thailand, so go on DC Gymmers, my guy. Incredible physique update, by the way. Unbelievable. Now, the next one, the G. The
G.
G. He's really good. You obviously
Yeah.
see him in person, so you can talk through. I
Yeah.
didn't see
I'll
him.
take over.
That was at the weekend there. Go for it.
So Brandon is first-time competitor, coached by Finn. He is absolutely ridiculous. Like photos probably don't even do him justice as well. That's the scary thing. So the Natural Physique boys were away in Manchester last weekend, and that is where Brandon trains at EP Jungle. So we were able to sort of have a look at him in person, and yeah, he's pretty mental. Like from a structure kind of standpoint, like he's filled out his frame, which is pretty wild to see. Like especially in like the most muscular side chest, there's just like no gaps at all, even the front lat spread.
Yeah, really good.
Like
He's just
that's wild.
bubbly as fuck, isn't he?
Yeah. So he'll do very well this year. I know he does sort of hold a lot of body fat in his lower body.
Yep.
Like his upper body looks considerably leaner than his lower. So I think that's just going to be the main thing to keep an eye on when he preps. But yeah, I've worked with Brandon on the posing side of things, and he has come along massively. I think the main thing was working on that side chest because he
Yeah.
was really side on, and he would also sort of crunch down on his midsection. So when you crunch down, the chest just kind of drops naturally. But if you can think about pulling that midsection in, lifting the chest up, you can make it look a lot fuller and a lot bigger. Um, but yeah, but he was sort of keeping that elbow pretty tight to the body. He wasn't dragging it back far enough. But now he is obviously taking on board all the feedback, and that is a very good shot for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's gonna do very well.
I think he'll be sick. Again, just very round, very bubbly. His midsection's already really detailed. It's just a case of bringing that lower body in um,
Mhm.
from the side and from the rear as well, like the
Yeah.
detail side of things here. But again, with Finn at the helm, I'm sure they will do their absolute best to do that and make sure that nothing's really compromised to try chase that too much and find a nice middle ground with it. 'Cause they've worked together for a wee while now as well, so I'm sure he knows his body pretty good too. So yeah, should be exciting. Is it this year that he is competing? Yes, he is,
Yeah,
isn't he?
he's competing. I think he's just started prep,
Just started
or
prep.
or maybe he
Like,
is starting prep. I can't remember.
I think he might have started it. I'm not entirely sure, but he
Yeah, I
does
feel
look
like he
very
might
good.
have. Uh-huh.
Very good.
Yeah.
So there's the G. There's Petra. Here we go.
Yeah, true.
Petra. So my Romanian client who I called oh, what have I done? I've just clicked something. I want to keep things going. Please tell me it's not deleted.
Oh no.
That wouldn't be ideal, that. I'll move this part out of the way. Close that down. Yeah, I think we're sound. We're good to go. Sorry for the technical difficulties, people. Or me just being a retard.
Mm.
But Petru, to go through his shots. Petru's good. So I've coached Petru for around the 40-week mark, I want to say. I actually gave him his check-in today. So these were some post-push shots. After he trained push, he's got a lot better. Like since we started working together, he's always been good. Like don't get me wrong, his genetics and how he's put together, his shape is really solid. He's competed before. He looked really good when he done so. But he didn't have like a well mapped out prep. Not that his last coach done it wrong. It's just kind of more so like old school. As you can see, more so old school where it's like a 12-week prep and he only had like an
A
8 week
bit of a shorter time frame, yeah.
yeah, like a 8 week off season before it, and then he prepped again after that and had like a 10 week gaining phase between there. I was like, "What? You've not
Yeah.
spent any time within a gaining phase?" I was like, "Fucking hell, this is gonna be fun when we actually spend some
Yeah.
time going." And that's what we've done. Like it's mental to see the difference. I think I popped up a wee thing on my story, the improvements that he's made so far. If we go on to the transformation side of things, yes, there we go. So.
Yeah, sick. That's so
That
good.
was just a 6 week diet that we started there, from 90 kg down to 83.5, and it's revealed that he's got a lot of potential within competing. He's going to compete this year towards the back end, so he's got some shows in the INBA/PNBA, and then he'll also be doing WNBF Supernaturals as well. So he'll fly over for that. That'll be a really good weekend to obviously to watch him compete for the first time under myself. We've got a longer prep planned out than obviously last time to make sure that we can like ensure that slow rate of loss and maintain as much muscle as possible. I'm trying to think if there's a way that I could get new photos up on here, but it's pretty cool to see the side by sides he has improved. a hell of a lot. More so his lower body from the rear, like you can't see it as much here just with this lighting. But beforehand, like even when he was in his stage condition, there wasn't much detailing through his hamstrings or glutes. But even now at 83.5 kg, just after that mini cut, he's got more detail than he did when he was on stage last time, which is pretty cool to think about and to see. In terms of areas for improvement for Petru, his arms, they look really solid here, but more so through the triceps. When he hits a front double bicep, because again his legs are really good, it sometimes takes away from his arms. You can kind of see here.
Yeah,
It's the one of the bigger areas for him to bring up. Little bit through the chest as well, through like the side chest here, just to get that as kind of like full as possible. But again, that has definitely improved a lot. It did used to be a lot flatter. So yeah, more so just through the arms, the chest a little bit. Delts are really solid from like the front here. It's one of his best shots when he's in stage condition. This looks sick. But pose improvements, physique analysis, or anything that you want to kind of mention here for Petru?
yeah. So I've worked with Petru. I've only worked with him once. But yeah, he is very, very good. Like the shape that he has, I think that was one of the main things we kind of worked on was just trying to accentuate it and bring it out as much as we can because there's not many competitors with shape as good as him. I think in a lot of shots there, he could probably narrow his stance just a tiny bit once again, just to try and line up the width of the quads with the width of the lat sweep, or the width of the quad sweep with the width of the lats. Um, but like his quads are like stupidly detailed as well. Like a really really balanced physique, and it's just one of those physiques. It's just so nice to look at. That's one
That's
thing
fine.
that
It's
you
very
just look at his physique all day, just be like fucking
yeah.
hell. But yeah, he'll
He is
really
good.
on classic.
Yeah, so he's just turned 24. So we'll be doing a little bit of classic and then possibly just like whatever bodybuilding he is
Mhm.
falls into. Most likely will be tall. But yeah, he is going to do well realistically this season. Very excited to prep. As I was speaking about arms there, you can kind of see here.
Yeah,
When he
he's
opens
got
up,
really long arms, doesn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, really long
Ends
arms.
up just kind of taking away from that a little bit. But we've put a lot of emphasis onto the programming side of things to make sure that they're brought up and putting them at the start of his push and pull sessions. Then he's got an extra arm day along with extra arm work on his upper day. So he does everything that he needs to bring them up and he continues to do so. And it's just letting that do its work. But yeah, Petru, really happy with where he is right now. And I think he's going to be a great competitor for this year. He nails his shit. Did I mention like he's obviously foreign, so he stays over in Romania, so he'll be flying over for the shows. So it'll be nice to meet him. I think he's also possibly going to fly over for the meetup, or not
Oh,
for the meetup, but the opening day
oh,
for the.
really?
I'm
Chill.
not sure if he has. He was discussing it, but I'm not sure if he's ended up booking anything. So that'd be sick as well. If we can get all the boys posing together, like fucking Brandon and like all some good clients all posing against each other, it's always good to see that because it exposes weaknesses and like shows off some stuff, and then it's always cool to be lined up against some really good naturals. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else for Petra? Anything you want to mention?
No, he's just very, very good, and he's a lovely guy as well. He was really
Yeah, it's
nice.
very nice, isn't he? I get on
Yeah.
with him well.
Uh-huh.
It was one of those ones where he inquired. Actually was calling him his second name for the first 12 weeks, actually.
Really?
When he put in the inquiry form, like I
It was
said,
like back to front.
yeah, I said
Yeah.
first name and surname, but he put it backwards, so he put Roncha Petru. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, and I always called him mate just because I call everyone mate anyway. Like I don't say like, hi Petru, here's your check-in. Like I find it too formal, so I'm just like, right mate, how you doing? But I said it one time, I was like, that's definitely the right thing because I seen he tagged his mum in a story, and she had Roncha in her name. I was like, I've been thinking your name's Roncha for the first 12 weeks, and all these that was it. All these sheets said Roncha Petru. I was like, mate, let me fucking change everything.
Yeah, just swap everything around.
Yeah, but yeah, Petru looks really, really good, and I'm excited for him for this year. So, boom. I think
Mhm.
we've got one more because that's been a while now. I think we're running up to about 40 to 50 minutes here. Also, a little smaller one there, and we've not got full physique analysis of
Who
Sonny.
wins this?
Yeah, there's Sonny doing you.
Yeah,
What
yeah, he did
was on
actually
the
do
show?
me.
Did he beat you?
Yeah, he did do me. I came fifth, he came fourth.
Ah,
I know. But
bro.
like he did look really good. He looked a lot better than me, to be fair. I can't even complain.
Yeah,
Finn was just like, yeah, we're gonna have a load of fucking carbs, a load of salt, just try and get as full as possible.
see what
But
happens.
I
Yeah,
did.
because you were a little bit softer by that point,
I
weren't you?
ended up holding a stupid amount of water, and we just didn't have enough time to get rid of it. But it was fun. Like it was a fucking sick pump, and I felt
Yeah.
absolutely massive. But yeah, I was just
Yeah.
extremely watery. So
Happens, isn't it? So as your
yeah,
body fades away a little bit towards the back end of a prep, and it like
yeah, just not as responsive by that point. It's more
yeah,
so just time and a deficit just kind of caught up to me. But
you learn
yeah,
for
Sonny's
it.
really good. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Sonny's got a lot of muscle as well. Like it's quite impressive in person. I remember I was posing next to him. I think the main thing that Finn was mentioning because I was like, "Fuck me, I need to bring up some certain areas because Sonny's are so much better than mine." And then he was like,
Mhm.
"Well, Sonny stood next to you and realized I need more something." I think it was like a little bit of delts. I can't remember what it was. But like obviously strong points, weak points. I can't think of it off the top of my head, like without photos of him. But yeah, Sonny is really good. And if we get some photos in for him for next time, then we can analyze from there. But
Mhm.
final one, I believe. I think it's the final one. Let me go to here. Yes, I've got no more
Yeah,
photos.
it's fine.
So yeah, Cami. So you do a lot of work with Cami. So you can go through posing, roughly what shows he's doing this year, etc. I think
He's doing PCA. Fuck. What other
a
shows
little
is he
bit of
doing?
BNBF Scotland. Is he doing that? Because that's close to him, maybe.
Potentially. To be fair, mate, I think I might have. No, he didn't put it on the sheet. I can't remember what shows he's doing. I think
In
one of
like
them
mid
definitely
to back end
PCA.
of the year though, like August, September,
Yeah,
October-ish time.
I think so.
Yes.
I think he's 14 out from the first. So I think it's that PCA one, the
Yes, that should be the
PCA
PC
two.
getting one. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
So
his
he's
first.
coached by Noah, first of all. I think Noah's been coaching Cami, I want to say for at least half a year now, or around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first time that Noah spoke to Cami, like Cami was just trying to pose, and Noah was like, "Well, I can help you with that," and then went through some poses. He was speaking about wanting to possibly compete in bodybuilding, and then a few weeks later, inquired for coaching, and they started to take the steps towards that. Done a decent sized diet phase, I believe, then a little bit of a push up, and then into a pre-prep. Not
Mm-hmm.
entirely sure. I could have that entirely wrong, but for just now, he is, I think, about 2 weeks into prep. The position that he's sat in, he's going to be a junior bodybuilder. He's 20 years old, I believe. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, if you want to go through posing, physique,
Yeah.
etc., what you
So
get.
like Cami has, first of all, he's not actually 6'5". He looks it, but he's not.
Mhm.
I think he's 5'10", 5'11". But yeah, like he's got great structure, great shape. Especially through the upper body, like he's got really good arms, really wide lats, great back as well, great delts. But the main thing is really just trying to, well, from Noah's perspective, bring up the quads, and then from my perspective and my sort of area, just trying to balance the upper body with the lower body because
Yep,
it's very, very difficult to not let the upper body take over with someone like this.
yep,
So we're just trying to work hard as possible to try and match the upper to the lower. It's more so the front, like from the side and the rear, like he's okay, but
yep.
it's just he doesn't have like a huge kind of quad sweep from the front.
Yeah.
Um,
Again, it's trying to find that balance of not having a ductor gap and trying to
exactly.
face that by trying to get the legs wider and as wide as the lats, etc. But I think he will grow through his prep if he has the right mindset and if he trains well enough for it. I've seen that he had like a good increase on his hack squat just because he fucking went for it. Like if he can continue to train really, really hard, like with his lower body, I'm sure he will be able to balance that a good chunk more because it was exactly what I done. Like my legs were pretty shit going into prep and they like I'm not gonna say blew up, but they got significantly better over the first 10 weeks or so. They continue to grow. Then obviously from there it's a case of trying to hold on to that muscle and keep performance. But I think if he can, get after his training, make sure he's on the ball with everything, he could be really good.
Yeah. Mhm.
Chest as well, isn't it? Trying to
Yeah, trying to bring the chest out a bit more. Like it's hard for the arms not to take over in those kind of side shots. So it's just trying to get like a little bit more fullness through the chest, and even in the front lat spread, you kind of notice the chest flattens off a little bit.
yeah,
But yeah, like his improvements, especially posing wise, have been fucking mental. Like
yeah.
he didn't really have an idea how to hit a lot of the poses, but there were
One
some
of
that
those
were
ones
just
where the person just doesn't, people that like flow really easily and they just it
yeah,
comes naturally to them. I feel like Cami wasn't one of those people. It just
no,
felt like kind of like rigid and it's like you need to really, really drill things in, and that's
yeah,
why I
yeah.
think he has like the more hands-on package for you, isn't it?
Yeah, we work
That's
pretty
for
much
fun.
every week.
Yeah,
Um, like he was one of those people he could easily hit a front lat spread and just pop his lats out,
yeah,
but everything else was a struggle. But yeah, like he's come on massively. We just broke down the poses, relearned as much as we could. And yeah, he looks fucking sick and he's in a great position. And then he's one of those people, he does just put in the work
yeah,
and he reaps the rewards. So yeah, he'll do well as long as he stops going to raves every fucking weekend
Checking a bottle of Bucky.
because
I know I
he
was
loves a rave.
told me that. Yeah. No more
Yeah,
bottle of
he
Bucky.
loves raving on Buckfast,
Yeah.
but hopefully he's not going to drink Bucky when he's on prep.
Yeah. That wouldn't be ideal. Peaking protocol.
No.
Dry out. A bit of
Yeah,
alcohol. Bit of Bucky.
yeah, to be fair.
Make
But
sure you get the right
obviously
number on it.
never.
You ever
What?
think about that? Your mates ever talk about that? You get like a number on the bottom of the bottle or something to
Yeah, it's like the
how
sweetness or something
sweet
of
it
it.
is or something. People are pure like analyzing it to make sure they get the exact right one.
To be
I would
standing
never.
there in wine mark, just like looking at the bottom of the
Yeah.
bottle, just like trying to get the right number. Do you know people who got like Bucky tattoos, who got like the cap and like gave themselves tattoos? They would like stab
Oh,
themselves with it.
fuck that. I
No,
was
Bucky stuff.
never a Bucky guy, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's so funny.
Bottle of Mad Dog was my preferred option.
Oh yes.
Blue one with a wee cherry, wee bit of cherry in it. It's like a
Oh
tangy
nice.
blast. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great way to sign off the Natural Physique podcast is to you can comment below and let us know what your favorite drink was when you were 14 years old. But yeah, I think that covers everyone for just now. Again, we've probably got like 3 episodes banked up of people so far.
Mhm. We can go
Just off the
through the
first
rest of the
ones.
photos with the other coaches as well.
Yep, I think that's what we do. So if you've not been covered yet, we do apologize, but obviously, like we'd be sat here for 3, 4 hours. That's the hard thing with like actually wanting to go into detail with these. We can't do loads per episode, otherwise you'd just be bored shitless. So yeah, that covers it for episode kind of 1, technically, of the Rate Your Physiques with Pose and
Mhm.
Improvements. And obviously, people, if they're watching this and it's not their physiques, they can still pick up a lot with what we're speaking about here.
Yeah.
Obviously, learning how to analyze a physique, but also just those pose improvements mainly, to make sure that you're not making those common mistakes as well. So, yeah, I think covers everything. Anything else you need to mention, want to mention? Anything?
Well, no, if anybody does have any questions about posing, just drop me a message. I'm not going to be one of those guys that says, no, sign up to one of the packages, or I'm not going to speak to you. Like, literally, just send me a photo.
DM me pose to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
my posing.
DM me flow.
Those
Nah,
bits.
if anybody does just have a question and they're unsure about something, just drop me a message. I'll get back to you. I'm more than happy to help. But yeah, mate, I think that's everything. Are you feeling better? I forgot to ask you. You still sick?
I'm getting there, yeah. It's now went
Yeah.
on to war. So get up and hey.
Yeah. We didn't say Noah is. Did you say Noah's fucked at the minute?
Yeah,
Until
so Finn's moving into his house and Noah's cooked. So yeah, I think I forgot to mention that. Apologies, everyone.
sure.
But yeah, I was really ill on Thursday last week is when it starts. I trained legs the night before. Brilliant session. And then when I went to bed, when you just feel that little bit of a tick on your throat and you're like,
Yeah,
no
something's not
cooked
right.
here. I'm fucked. So I whacked in a wee, you get it's like a plug and you put a wee sheet in it. It's a cowpole thing. And it kind of, I don't know what it does. It maybe like heats it up and like blows a bit of air into it. And it makes
Oh,
the room kind of like minty and shit.
oh yeah, yeah. I know what you
Took
mean.
more vitamin C, fucking whacked my mouth tape on, got my nose strip on. I was like, this illness is not getting to me. Woke up in the morning, I was just fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh God.
no. So I thought, right, it'll last a day or two, it'll be sound. Then 3 days later, I was still in the bin. Then it was time to travel down to Manchester, up at like 5 in the morning with no sleep. I was like, oh.
Definitely didn't help.
Yeah. Then went down, obviously recorded our content, done everything, well used trains. I just slept in my car. Went and got a tub of vanilla Ben and Jerry's ice cream. It just
Did
sat.
you?
Yeah, I was just like, oh,
Oh,
I
oh,
could be.
what from the wee cafe bit? That was like,
Yeah, it was one of the wee mini tubs to be fair, and it's got
oh
the
right, okay.
spoon, so it's just like the. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
needed something to soothe my throat, so I had a wee bit of Ben and Jerry's ice cream. I had to go in and out the gym, I think 5 times to fill up my 1.5 liter bottle of water
Mhm.
within the space of like 3, 4 hours because I was just guzzling it to make sure that my throat didn't dry up. Because if I didn't go without, or if I went without drinking for like 2 minutes, I was
You
so bad.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
so it was really sore. Then that night's sleep was probably the worst night's sleep I've ever had in my life. No, I was snoring so bad. I was already dying. You know when you get a sore throat and you keep on waking up through the night because it keeps waking you up.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
forgot to bring, or I forgot to bring paracetamol and we forgot to get paracetamol, so I was fucked in that sense. And then add in Noah giving it so loudly. Again,
Finn was bad as well. Finn was snoring like fuck.
were you with him initially and then you moved into the
No, I came in and I heard him snoring. And
mm,
Noah came downstairs and was like, yeah, Finn's fucking tearing the house down with his snoring. So I was like, right, I'm not even going to bother going up to that room because I was supposed to be sharing the bed with him.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to sleep. I'm just going to sit down here in the living room on the sofa. And it was
That's
actually
the
pretty
thing.
nice, to be fair. You came down, didn't you?
Mate, I was like, I'm fed up with this shit. So I'm covered in my big cover, and I've got my pillow, and I'm like, I'm gonna go down on the sofa. And I couldn't tell because it was like black, and I was like still up on the stairs, and I could maybe see something on the sofa. I was like, is Matt there? And I switched my light on, and you were too tall for the sofa. So you were lying there, and both your legs were just off the ends, like upright in the
Just
air.
like,
Yeah, like that. Like looking very vulnerable there, but I didn't take any action on it, sadly. Then went back up to the room, depressed. I was like, I'm just gonna deal with it. Because see, like when we were away traveling together, if he was lying right next to me and we were in the same bed, I'd just give him like a wee nudge and roll him
yeah,
over.
that's it. No,
But
he'll shut up.
he was over in the complete different side of the room. I was like, I can't be fucked getting up, and then if I tap him there, he's gonna be going off his nut. Because he also, when we were away, like I nudged him a little bit, and he was like, "The fuck are you doing?" He was shouting at me. So if I got up out of the bed and done it, he would have been raging. So
He just got stuff and like fucking chucked it across
yeah,
the
so I
room.
throwing it at him,
Yeah.
take a bottle of water and just lob it off him. But I ended
No.
up having to go into Finn's room and then lying on the floor and sleeping there. But Finn was already up at that point. I don't know if you can hear. Can you hear that at all? I don't know where the speakers are.
No.
Rubbish. It's so loud as well, mate. Nah, nothing.
No, I can't hear it.
Rubbish. That's shit because it was so bad. But yeah, after that, the drive back up was hellish. Got a good night's sleep in my own bed. And then over the past 2 days, it's starting to get a little bit better. You know, you're just like coughing constantly, but there's always stuff coming up. So it's like a
Yeah,
relief.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Oh.
finally, my throat started to feel a bit better. Still don't feel great in general. Like I trained legs a day for 40 minutes, and by the end of it, I was like, I feel like I can't move here.
Mm.
It wasn't anything drastic as well. That's just one wee set of like pump stuff. But it's just a case of those first two sessions back. I done pushing arms, I done legs. I've got a rest day tomorrow. By the time I get back into training on Friday, I should be good to go.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
sweet. Did you
Yeah,
do devolume today?
yeah, it wasn't even like a devolume session. I had nowhere near the numbers that I usually would. I put on like
Just
50% of the weight and just got blood pumping.
yeah,
So
just
like
move the
an
weight,
ab
get back
crunch,
in the
yeah.
swing of things.
Just get blood pumping, just get a slight pump through my lower body so I could feel a bit better. I done a superset of ab crunch and calf raise, just one set. One set of an adductor, one set of leg extension, one set of hamstring curl, one set of belt squat, one set of
Mm.
leg press, sorry, and one set of hip thrust. Simple, like very lightweight, just kind of getting everything,
Yeah,
adductors, leg extension, adductors, quads, hamstrings, glutes, abs, everything covered
just
off.
blood everywhere. Yeah.
Wasn't a great session, realistically. I came back home and just slept for an hour and a half to hopefully recover a little bit better. So see how
Hmm.
that goes. Try to get a good sleep tonight and wake up feeling better tomorrow. But Noah's like just starting his illness, so I do feel sorry for him, but get it
Well,
up.
he had a sip of my pint on Saturday, so I'm expecting to get it.
It's funny because you two both had a bite of my brownie with my ice cream.
Oh shit.
Noah was the only one that didn't, and he's the one that's got, oh,
Oh yeah, because Finn had it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
you shared the car with him, didn't you?
yeah, the whole day.
So,
So,
oh well,
expected.
we'll see what
Life it
happens.
goes on, doesn't it?
It does, it does. You just crack on. Just have to crack on.
Just need to crack on, mate. How bad you want it?
Yeah, exactly. I ask myself that every morning when I wake up. How
Yeah,
bad do I want this? And then just get out of bed, have a cold shower.
be an action taker.
Yeah,
Meditate.
exactly.
Meditate in the morning.
Yeah.
Ground your balls.
Is
You need to. That's you, the morning routine. Right.
that
Enough.
us then?
Yeah, enough yap and waffle. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed.
Hmm.
And we'll do these. I don't even know when we'll do these. Like maybe every second episode or something. Or we might even do it as like a little extra. We'll see what happens.
Well,
And
we've sent them all into that group chat anyway, so we've got all
yeah,
the
we've got
photos and everything.
plenty of them there ready to go. So
Perfect.
cool. Right. Have a wonderful day whenever you're listening again. Use codes Josh10 and Matt10 at
That's
Bits.
them. Yeah. Ah, yes.
Yes. Not Noah 10 or Fin 10. Fuck them. But yeah, enjoy your night, your morning, your afternoon, even whenever it is. Please do like and subscribe, all that jazz. Apart from that, I think we're all good, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah.
See ya.
See you guys.
Bash.